In this problem, we're either given an expression in radical notation and asked to convert it to rational exponent form, or the reverse of that. In all cases, we are to evaluate the expressions to two decimal places using our graphing calculator. The first one I'm going to do is right here where I'm given an expression in radical form. I'm asked to convert it into rational exponent form. To do this, you use the following exponent rule that basically says that whatever the base is, x, in our case, our base is 23, you can rewrite the problem without the radical by forming this fraction where you take the power and divide by the index. Our power is 6, our index is 5. So when we do m divided by n, we're going to do 6 divided by 5 instead. So I have 23 to the 6/5. So I need to write 23 raised to the 6/5 in this field right here. You can do it one of two ways. You can take 23, use the caret key, which is shift 6 on the keyboard, and then to tell it that both the 6 and the 5 are in the exponent, you use parentheses, 6 divided by 5, and then cap off the right parenthesis. The other way to do it is to take advantage of what's called this math quill feature, and when you click in this field, this little yellow box pulls up, and you can click on it and you can type it in this way. You type in 23, and then you click on this button right here that lets you raise to a power. But since my power is going to be a fraction, I now click on the fraction part. My numerator was 6. My denominator, I'm going to hit the down arrow, was 5. And then I just simply click on the save. And it basically converts it to exactly what I typed before. If you hit preview, you can see how the computer is taking your answer. Now to type this in the graphing calculator, it looks basically the same. So on my graphing calculator, my calculator is already on. I'm going to type in 23, and then I'm going to use the caret key. And if you're in classic mode, you need to put parentheses around the 6 and the 5 to let it know that both are in the exponent. Simply hit enter, and to two decimal places, our answer would be 43.06. So I'm going to type in 43.06. And the next problem would be done the same way. To go backwards, we simply use the same property, except just go backwards. So we have 19 to the 5/4. We're going to use, here's the problem right here, we're going to use the property backwards. So we're basically already given it in this form. So my x is 19, my m is 5, and my n is 4. So what I'm going to do is go backwards and write the radical symbol. My base, instead of being 23 this time, my base is 19. And then remember, it's always the number here gets divided by the number here, and we need that to come out to be 5/4. So I'm going to have to put the 5 here and the 4 here. So that if I were to go the other way around, if I was to go this way, it would work because you always take the power divided by the index, m over n, so it would be 5 divided by 4. So somehow I have to write the the fourth root of 19 to the 5th into Math AS. So I'm going to click here, and you could type square root as SQRT, but since we have the math quill, you could actually just click on this and just select the square root key. Now to get the nth root, I actually have to go to functions. So I thought this might give me an option, but it didn't. So I'm gonna delete this. This is not the one we want. If you click on functions, you have the nth root of something. So I'm gonna click on that one. And the default is to have it as a 3. But if you remember right, we want that to be a 4. So I'm gonna put a 4. And then my base here was 19. And then I want to raise it to the power of 5. So you could use the caret key, but I could go back to general, I believe, and click on this to get a little exponent, put a 5 there, and then this is basically what I wanted to type in, if you remember. I'll hit save, and basically this is here because it converted the notation into computer code. But if I hit preview, it'll show me that I indeed have exactly what I want. Now I still need to go to my graphing calculator and type this into two decimal places. So that would look similar, although I probably would use this form to type it in. It's 19, and then caret, and then in parentheses I would write 5/4. Oops, forgot the 4. If your calculator is in classic mode, you need to use parentheses here, and it looks like this. However, if your calculator, some of the newer calculators have a pretty print mode, which looks like this. Instead of being classic mode, it's in math print mode. Let me hit second quit. If your calculator is in that mode, things look a bit different. So that last problem, when I did the 19, when I hit the caret, instead of having to use parentheses in pretty print mode or math print mode, it just pops you up there, and you could have just typed in the 5/4 without parentheses because it's understood that everything up there is in the exponent. And if you wanted to get out of the exponent, you could just hit right arrow and work outside the exponent there and see that you get the same answer. So to 2 decimal places, my answer is 39.67. So I'm going to go here and type in 39.67, and then the next problem is basically the same as the one I just did.